Rihanna and children with her sisters at family's birthday party in Barbados. The night air in Barbados carries a particular kind of music. It drifts on the breeze from the sea, mixes with laughter, clinks of glasses, and the low hum of conversation that swells and softens like a tide. On evenings when family gathers, when birthdays are celebrated not just as milestones of age but as affirmations of love, the island seems to lean in and listen. On one such night, amid a swirl of cousins, sisters, children, and elders, Rihanna is not the global icon whose name lights marquees and charts. She is simply Robin, daughter of Barbados, sister among sisters, mother among mothers, and heartbeat of a family that knows how to celebrate life. The hook: why this night matters. It's easy to imagine celebrity life as a continuous parade of red carpets, flashing cameras, and curated perfection. But the moments that shape a person most deeply are often the quiet ones, the nights when shoes are kicked off under a table, when children fall asleep in laps, when siblings tease each other about who ate the last slice of cake. A family birthday party in Barbados, surrounded by sisters and children, becomes something more than a social gathering. It becomes a living portrait of identity, resilience, and roots for Rihanna, whose journey from a small island to global superstardom has been one of the most compelling narratives in modern music and fashion. These family moments are not escapes from reality. They are returns to it. They are the proof that even as life expands outward, the center holds. This article is not merely about a party. It is about the meaning of family in a life lived in the public eye, the bond between sisters who share history and blood, the presence of children who represent both legacy and future, and the island of Barbados itself, a place that shapes not only where one comes from, but who one becomes. Barbados, more than a backdrop. Barbados is not just a picturesque setting for a birthday celebration. It is a living, breathing influence in Rihanna's story. The island's rhythms, its music, language, food, and communal spirit have always been woven into her identity. From her earliest interviews to her most recent ventures, Barbados is not something she left behind, it is something she carries. At a family birthday party, this influence is everywhere. The food alone tells a story, dishes prepared with recipes handed down through generations, seasoned with memory as much as spice. There's laughter over who cooked the best macaroni pie, debates over the perfect balance of heat and pepper sauce, and stories about elders who taught younger family members not just how to cook, but why cooking together matters. The island's culture emphasizes togetherness. Birthdays aren't just about the person whose name is on the cake, they are about the collective. Everyone shows up. Everyone contributes. Everyone belongs. In that sense, the party becomes a microcosm of Barbadian life, warm, inclusive, and deeply rooted. Rihanna as sister, the unseen role. Much has been written about Rihanna the artist, the entrepreneur, the fashion icon. Far less is written about Rihanna the sister. Yet within family gatherings, this role can be the most revealing. Sisters share a language that doesn't require translation. A look across the room can say, "Do you remember this?" Or "Can you believe we're here now?" They share memories of childhood, of growing up in the same household or orbit, of navigating family dynamics long before fame entered the picture. At a birthday party, sisters often slip into familiar roles. One might take charge of organizing the children, another of coordinating food, another of keeping the mood light with jokes and music. Rihanna, despite her global status, is not exempt from this choreography. Within family, fame dissolves. What remains is trust, history, and an unspoken understanding that sisters protect one another. The presence of children adds another layer. Sisters become co-guardians, co-storytellers, and co-conspirators in joy. They pass babies from arm to arm, exchange knowing smiles when a toddler throws a tantrum, and laugh about how time seems to move faster with every generation. Motherhood in the middle of it all. Motherhood changes the way time is experienced. It sharpens priorities and softens edges. For Rihanna, becoming a mother has added a new dimension to her identity, one that intersects powerfully with family gatherings. At a birthday party, motherhood is visible in small gestures, adjusting a child's collar, wiping sticky fingers, rocking a baby to sleep amid the noise. It's visible in the way conversations shift to include questions about nap schedules, favorite snacks, and the latest milestones. But motherhood is also philosophical. It invites reflection. Surrounded by sisters and elders, a mother sees herself as part of a continuum. She remembers being a child at similar gatherings. sitting under tables or running barefoot across yards. Now, she watches her own children occupy those same spaces, adding their laughter to the family soundtrack. This continuity is powerful. It reinforces the idea that success is not only measured by accolades or wealth, but by the ability to nurture, to belong, and to pass something meaningful forward. Children at the center: joy, chaos, and promise. Children are the pulse of any family celebration. They bring unpredictability, noise, and unfiltered emotion. At a birthday party, they are everywhere, chasing each other, asking endless questions, demanding attention, then suddenly disappearing into games or naps. In the presence of children, adults soften. Even the most serious conversations are punctuated by interruptions: a child tugging at a sleeve, a burst of laughter, a minor crisis over a missing toy. These interruptions are not inconveniences, they are reminders of what matters. For Rihanna and her sisters, watching the children interact is like watching the future take shape in real time. Cousins form bonds that may last a lifetime. Older children take on protective roles with younger ones. Personalities emerge: leaders, observers, comedians, dreamers. In these moments, the children are not aware of fame or legacy. They are simply present. And in their presence, the adults are invited to be present too. The birthday ritual: more than cake and candles. A birthday party within a close-knit family is both ritual and release. There is the ceremonial aspect, the cake, the candles, the song, but there is also the emotional undercurrent. Birthdays prompt reflection on where one has been, what one has survived, and what one hopes for the year ahead. In a family like Rihanna's, birthdays can also be moments of gratitude. Gratitude for health, for togetherness, for the ability to gather at all. They can be moments of remembrance, honoring those who are no longer present but whose influence is still felt. The act of celebrating becomes communal healing. Laughter is shared. Stories are retold. Old jokes resurface. New memories are made. The birthday person is honored not just for aging another year, but for existing within the family's story. Fame at the door, family at the table. One of the most striking aspects of family gatherings involving someone as famous as Rihanna is how effectively fame can be left at the door. Within the circle of family, the rules are different. There are no stage lights, no scripted moments. There is teasing, sometimes brutal honesty, and unconditional acceptance. Family members are often the only people who can remind a global superstar of who they were before the world knew their name and who they still are underneath it all. This grounding is invaluable. It keeps perspective intact. It provides a safe space where vulnerability is not a liability but a strength. For someone whose life is constantly observed and interpreted, family offers privacy without isolation. Sisters as mirrors and anchors. Sisters often function as mirrors, reflecting back versions of ourselves we might forget. They remember our awkward phases, our early dreams, our failures and triumphs before they were public. At a birthday party, these reflections surface naturally. Someone recalls a childhood anecdote. Another brings up a shared struggle or inside joke. These moments are not about nostalgia for its own sake, they are about continuity. For Rihanna, whose life trajectory has been anything but ordinary, sisters serve as anchors. They remind her that despite everything that has changed, something fundamental remains the same. That sense of self is not diminished by success, it is clarified by it. Generations in conversation. Family gatherings are one of the few spaces where multiple generations coexist naturally. Elders sit alongside young adults. Toddlers crawl near grandparents' feet. Wisdom and curiosity share the same air. At a birthday party in Barbados, this intergenerational dialogue is especially rich. Elders may share stories of the island's past, of traditions that predate modern conveniences. Younger family members listen, sometimes half distracted, sometimes deeply engaged. These exchanges are not always formal. Sometimes they happen over food, or during a lull in the music. But they matter. They transmit values, history, and identity in ways no textbook can. Music, movement, and memory. Music is inseparable from Barbadian culture, and no family celebration is complete without it. At a birthday party, playlists may range from old favorites to contemporary hits, reflecting the family's collective taste. Music does something remarkable at gatherings: it dissolves age boundaries. Elders sway to familiar rhythms. Younger ones dance freely, unconcerned with technique. Everyone participates at their own comfort level.